Assalamualaikum viewers, hope for best of your health and iman. Today's topic is cyanobacteria long questions. Today we're gonna see what are the some important long questions which we have discussed in all the topics, including cyanobacteria, its genus, nostoc, oscillatoria. So we're gonna see what are the important questions you can go through, and you should check them out, all the important points from all of these questions. So let's get started. Here we have question number 1, which is describe the asexual reproduction in the cyanobacteria. So you know that asexual reproduction in the cyanobacteria, we have discussed the asexual reproduction in the cyanobacteria. There are almost 4 to 5 types of the reproduction in the cyanobacteria, which are the asexual reproduction. There is no sexual reproduction in cyanobacteria. So we have just asexual reproduction. So what are the asexual type of the reproduction in the cyanobacteria? They are homogons, they are endospores, they are heterocysts, they are echinates, they are homospores. So these are the some important types of the asexual reproduction in cyanobacteria. And all of these types are hormogons, which are from the special cells are present, and these hormogons separated filaments, broken down filaments, so they give rise to the new individual. The second is heterocysts, which are the heterocyst cell. We have discussed many times before. Homospores, which are the same types of the spores which are produced in the cells, and these spores are then get separated and produces the new individuals. Kinates, that the simple specialized cells and which get separated and enlarged in size, and new individuals are formed when favorable condition comes through. And endospores, when the heterospores are they have divisions in their content and they produces the spores. Next question is, what are the economic importance of the cyanobacteria? So what is the economic importance of the cyanobacteria? We're gonna discuss what are the useful as well as the harmful effects of the cyanobacteria. For the useful effects, that there is the nitrogen fixation role of the cyanobacteria in the nitrogen fixation. They have a big role in nitrogen fixation. They convert the nitrogen into nitrates, nitrites, ammonia, because in these case these are the chemicals which the plants or the other organisms can use for their purposes. So this is most important role of the cyanobacteria. Next is role in the soil building. When they are present in the soil, they can cause the decomposition of the soil and produces the fertility, increases the fertility of the soil. In this case they causes the building blocks and prevent the erosion of the soils in any case. So in this way they have the roles. And some of the harmful roles, that they causes the death to fishes, they causes death to the animals, they causes death to the many other organisms, and they are causes the water pollution. So these are the some of the important harmful roles. So in this way you can tell the economic importance of the cyanobacteria. Third one is describe the general characteristics of the cyanobacteria. So general characteristics of the cyanobacteria, in this case you just have to tell what are the its plant body, its shape, its habitat, where do they live, mostly the moist areas. And so cell structure, you have to tell its its cell structure, like its nucleoplasm, its organelles. They do not have that much membrane bound organelles. Other important points, their reproduction, some of the their general come to their general characteristics. And the other last one is which is the reserve food, which you have to tell what are the reserve food. So in this way you just gonna tell what are the general characteristics of the cyanobacteria. Next, here we have the describe the structure and the reproduction in the nostoc. So for the structure and the reproduction of the nostoc, we have to tell what are the structure of the nostoc. As you know that they are the filamentous cyanobacteria, blue-green algae, and their cells are joined one to other by end to end. So in this way, nostoc have its structure, and it has its all of these cell structure, cell components like nucleoplasm, its organelles, its cell structure, its cell wall, its pigments, its colony form, because they form the colony. So this colony structure is most important for the general characteristics of the nostoc. Its reserve food material. So these points are the important points for the case of the nostoc. And the reproduction, for the reproduction, because there is no sexual reproduction, they just do by the colony fragmentation, because colony is broken down and they form the more colonies separated and more individuals. The second one is the hormogonia, the same time which is the same type which I have already discussed. The third one is the akinate. So in this way the fourth one is the anthrospores, and the fifth one is the endospores. So these are all the type of the reproduction which are present in the nostoc. Next question is, give the difference between the nostoc and the anabina. As I have already already told you about all the characteristics and features and reproduction of the nostoc, everything. This one. And the second is the anabina. The same things you have to tell about the anabina. What are their differences in their some of their cell structures. Their cell structures are different. Their their little bit reproduction is different from each other. Their plant body, their shape is little bit different. Wall structure and their reserve material is little bit different. So these things we have to discuss. For that they have central body, no nucleoplasm or the nuclear material. They have pseudo vacuoles, which are the differentiated characteristics of the anabina. We have discussed in a last episode about the pseudo vacuoles in detail. They have heterocysts, they have a kinase. So these are the points to differentiate the anabina from the nostoc. And they have reproduction, which is is vegetative reproduction, and also they have the asexual reproduction, but they do not have the sexual reproduction. So in this way you can differentiate nostoc and anabina. The last question is describe the structure and reproduction in the oscillatoria. So we have to tell the structure and reproduction in the oscillatoria. For the case of the oscillatoria, we have to tell what are the its thallus type. Now it's thallus type. It's plant bodies like thallus. So we have to discuss the what is the thallus type. That it is like thallus, do not differentiate into roots, stems, and leaves. Then comes its cell structure. And for the cell structure, you have to tell it's a cell wall. Each cell have its cell wall. Then it have its all own pigments, its nucleoplasm, its reserve food material, its vacuole, which is not a pseudo vacuole, but it's little bit different from the pseudo vacuole. For movement, you know that the endpoints are wave, and by the weaving of the endpoint, they can move their own body. So in this way, and they have one more important type, which is the growth. Is important characteristics of the growth, which is intercellary growth of the oscillatoria. So this is the differentiated characteristics of the oscillatoria. Next is the reproduction of the oscillatoria. For the reproduction of the oscillatoria, they reproduce through the fragmentation, by forming the fragments, by forming the necredia, which we have already discussed in the last episode. I'm going to give you the links, and in detail you can watch the video and find out all your helpful information for you. So in this case, you have the important long questions. So helpful for you. Thank you so much for coming on my channel. Thank you so much for coming on my channel. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment. Make sure to follow me on Instagram. Bye bye. Allah Hafiz.